A team led by the Chinese Communist Party Vice Minister has met the two warring factions of Nepal's ruling party, the NCP amid political turmoil in the Himalayan nation, and the CCP Vice Minister met Nepal's Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli and President Bidya Devi Bhandari. And the Chinese delegation later called on other leaders, including former Prime Minister Pushpa Kamar Dahal or Prachanda and Madhav Kumar Nepal. Dahal and Nepal are leading the anti-Oli front. Beijing has denied that it is interfering in Nepal's internal matters. China's foreign ministry has said that the delegation is visiting Nepal to mark the 65th anniversary of establishment of diplomatic ties between the two countries. As per sources, there are three possible objectives for this visit. First, to unite the Nepal Communist Party again and remove any person opposing the move. The second, to change the Prime Minister to foster any possible alliance. And the third, if this does not materialize, then revoking the House, which has been dissolved, and place Prachanda as the Prime Minister so as to avoid any election. Chinese ambassador met Madhav Nepal, who replaced Oli as chairman of NCP's Prachanda-led faction and who has met NCP's executive chairman Prachanda 3 times since then. President Bhandari has called the winter session of the National Assembly, the upper house of parliament, from 1st of January. Meanwhile, locals resorted to protest against China. Scores of people protested in Kathmandu against Chinese interference in domestic affairs of Nepal. Demonstrators shouted anti-China slogans and held placards reading "Back off, China." And Nepal plunged into a political crisis after President Bhandari dissolved the parliament at Oli's request. The party is divided now into two factions, one led by Prime Minister Oli and the other by country's former Prime Ministers Pushpa Kamar Dahal along with Madhav Kumar Nepal. And reports now say that Prachanda faction plans to join hands with the Janta Samajwadi Party and stake their claim before the Speaker to form the government. For more on this, we have our principal diplomatic correspondent, Siddhant Sibal, joining us live. Siddhant, thank you so much for joining us. What can you tell us about, first, the implications of this meet and the agenda of the meet?
Well, the Chinese circus in Kathmandu continues. Today is the third day of the visit of the Chinese delegation. We know that in last 2 days they have met two fractions and, of course, the President and the Prime Minister. And the main agenda is to focus on perhaps the two fractions coming together and again forming the Nepal Communist Party, the largest party of South Asia, the largest communist parties of Asia, and of course the third largest of South Asia. But largely, if we look at how things are going on, it looks like the Chinese are getting jittery about the developments in Nepal, and for that they had sent the team. In fact, the minister today is going to meet the opposition leadership of the Nepali Congress and perhaps talk about the future of the governance in the country. But this is being seen as an outright intervention by the Chinese in the domestic affairs of Nepal. In fact, that has been the top focus of the Nepali newspapers all throughout last few days. And this is, if we look at the reaction coming from Beijing, Beijing has in fact defended the visit of the Chinese Vice Minister, saying that it's part of the friendly cooperation between the Chinese Communist Party and the Nepal Communist Party. In fact, the Global Times, which is of course the mouthpiece of the Chinese Communist Party, has termed it as something that is an ongoing process, and also lashed out at India, saying that India is trying to spy on the meetings which are taking place in Kathmandu.
Yes, and also thank you for mentioning that, because the people, as we mentioned earlier, are not happy with China's interference. How do you see this situation unfolding now?
Well, diplomacy is all about doing things not being on the front pages of newspapers, and China has been the front pages of the newspapers in Nepal for a pretty long time. All throughout 2020, we know that reports of how the Chinese envoy has been meeting the various stakeholders, and now the situation has, of course, exacerbated with, of course, the dissolution of the House and elections being announced, and the visit of a minister coming straight from Beijing is something that doesn't bode well for China, because China already has been seen been indulging in propaganda, in misinformation all throughout the world. And now the fact that the Chinese are defending this visit, calling it as friendly inter-party cooperation. In fact, the experts being quoted by Global Times say that it is part of the cooperation. Also, Nepal being part of China's Belt and Road initiative. It is a legitimate thing for China to do, to interfere perhaps in the internal affairs of other countries. So it's not going to bode well, and perhaps there can be a backlash very soon. We have seen how protests have been taking place in Nepal itself.
Yes, and just for more clarity on this, talking of China's blatant interference, what do you think China is seeking to gain here from this situation?
Well, perhaps China has its own image of how the world should run, and it sees itself as the Middle Kingdom and other countries as vassal states. That is a concept, of course, in Beijing, but there are other concepts as well. China has been very vocally working on the Belt and Road initiative. India has, of course, opposed it, and it has been increasing its influence in South Asia, whether it's Nepal, whether it's Pakistan, whether it is in the erstwhile government of President Yamin in Maldives, cooperation when it comes to Sri Lanka. That is, of course, called as cooperation, but of course, the world sees in a different light altogether. So China wants to increase its influence of sphere of influence across the world, and South Asia is no different. China wants to gain its footprint in South Asia, but it looks difficult given how things are going. It is not going very positively. Of course, Pakistan is a different case, but at Nepal, it looks like a backlash is about to come soon against Beijing.
All right, Siddhant, thank you so much for joining us with all those inputs.